All right, so you're about to see a video that's going to be a little weird. It doesn't sound like me. It's because I'm reading my own script that I wrote from a teleprompter because I wanted to get all my words correct, and it was a very long video. So yeah, bear with me. I'm not a content creator. I'm not an influencer. I'm not a journalist. But yeah, please take a look, and yeah, thanks. This is a message to my friends and family, but for anyone watching who doesn't know me, let me introduce myself. My name's Cody Littlefield, and I was born and raised in San Diego, California. I moved to Canada in 2019 to pursue a master's degree with my wife, and since 2023, I've also been a Canadian citizen, living in Calgary, Alberta, with my wife and dual American-Canadian citizen son. This message is for my friends and family in the United States, especially the ones that I love, who still support Donald Trump. From 2011 to 2015, I served in the U.S. Army on active duty, including one deployment to Afghanistan. I stayed in the Army Reserve, actively drilling until 2020, and submitted my resignation earlier this year after watching how the President and Vice President treated President Zelensky of Ukraine. That's 9 years of my life committed to serving the country that I love, and 4 years on standby just in case my country needed me again. And I want to talk to you now, not as a Democrat or a Republican, not for some partisan agenda, but as a son, a father, a brother, a cousin, and a friend. As someone who swore an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Not to a president, not to a party, to the Constitution above all. And what I'm seeing now, and what I fear, is that we are sleepwalking into the very thing that oath was meant to protect us from. Fascism, authoritarianism, and a dictator. This is not easy for me to say. I know many of you love America very deeply, as do I. You believe in hard work, freedom, fairness, and faith. And for a long time, even when we disagreed on policies, we still shared the same foundation: democracy, the rule of law, and the peaceful transfer of power. But somewhere along the way, that changed. We watched a president try to overturn a lawful election. We watched him pressure state officials to find votes.
Look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
We watched him incite a mob to storm the Capitol while members of Congress were inside. And now he's back, convicted of crimes, promising retribution.
And for those who have been wronged and betrayed, I am your retribution. I am your retribution.
Praising dictators.
There's a man, Viktor Orban. Did anyone ever hear of him? He's probably like one of the strongest leaders anywhere in the world. And
it's good to have a good relationship with Putin and Xi and all these people that have lots of nuclear weapons. And Kim Jong-un I had a good relationship with. He's a tough, smart guy.
And talking openly about suspending the Constitution, about purging the government, about installing loyalists so he doesn't lose again. These aren't just political moves. These are authoritarian tactics. We've seen them in history books, we've seen them in other countries, and now we're seeing them at home. I know that sounds dramatic, so let me be very specific. This isn't about his personality. It's about what he's done with the power that we gave him. In his first term, Donald Trump did the following: pressured foreign governments to investigate political opponents, leading to his first impeachment; called the free press the enemy of the people; tried to repeal health care without a replacement, risking coverage for millions; separated families at the border, detaining children; withdrew from the Paris Climate Agreement; withheld military aid to Ukraine for personal political gain; fired inspectors general and demanded loyalty from civil servants; repeated lies about the 2020 election, and when he lost, refused to concede; and he incited the January 6th attack on the Capitol. And even after losing fairly, he refused to admit it. Now, in just the first 5 months of his second term, He has pardoned over 1,500 people involved in the January 6th insurrection, declared Mexican drug cartels terrorist organizations, setting the stage for military operations, launched sweeping immigration raids in democratic cities, arresting thousands daily, reinstated the global gag rule, which defunds reproductive health programs globally, pulled the U.S. out of the Paris Agreement again, attempted to end birthright citizenship by executive order, fired dozens of inspectors general, replacing them with loyalists, imposed new tariffs on the entire world, including an island inhabited only by penguins. He's deployed the National Guard and active duty Marines into U.S. cities, signed over 160 executive orders aimed at consolidating executive power, threatened journalists, and signaled intent to prosecute political opponents. And this is not hypothetical, this is happening right now. Just in the last few weeks, he has taken control of Washington, D.C.'s police force, declared a public safety emergency, deployed the National Guard, who are now armed. He has threatened more National Guard deployments and to send federal troops to additional Democratic-run cities, citing rising crime.
Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent, and we'll straighten that one out probably next. That'll be our next one after this.
Has signed an executive order banning flag burning, promising to criminalize desecration of the American flag.
What the penalty is going to be, if you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail.
Potentially punishable by up to a year in jail, which is unconstitutional.
Through a very sad court, I guess it was a 5-4 decision, they called it freedom of speech.
And Republican-led states are now gerrymandering congressional districts to ensure a Republican majority in the House, forcing Democratic-led states to follow suit. That is not democracy.
So the changes would likely hand over 5 seats to Republicans and could cause Democrats in blue districts around cities like Houston, Dallas, and Austin to lose their seats in the next year's midterm election.
This is not just politics. It's a slow-motion breakdown of democratic governance in the United States. The oath I took was not symbolic. It was a promise to defend this country from anyone who threatens what it stands for. And right now, that threat isn't foreign, it's from within. From a man who believes that he's above the law and a movement willing to follow him there. I want to be wrong, but history tells us what happens when people stay silent. When they say, it can't happen here. When loyalty to one man replaces loyalty to the law, to the truth, and to each other. If you love me, if you trust me, please just hear me out. I'm not saying this because I hate Donald Trump. I'm saying it because I love my country and I love you. I know it's hard to see when you're inside it, when it's your community, your church, your family, your news. But ask yourself, if any other president had done these things, tried to overturn an election, been found liable for sexual assault, been convicted in court, sent troops into American cities without the consent of the state governments, would you still support them? Or are you supporting him because it's too painful to admit what he's become?
And they say, we don't need him, freedom, freedom. He's a dictator, he's a dictator. A lot of people are saying maybe we like a dictator.
This next midterm election isn't about left or right. It's about democracy or dictatorship. Whether the law applies to everyone or only to the powerful. I swore an oath. I believed in this country enough to risk my life for it. Now I'm asking you to take a stand too. Not with anger, not with violence, but with conscience. Speak out, vote, and protect the Republic for your kids, for mine, for all of us. We can still choose another path. We can still be the country that lives up to this promise. But only if we remember who we are, not just in flag waving and slogans, but in action, in law, in love for one another. The oath that I took never expires, and neither does our responsibility to each other. I'll continue making these videos, most likely focusing on one issue at a time. But if you want to talk to me one-on-one, you know my number. Feel free to call me. I'd love to chat with you. Thanks for listening.
And will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.